Press that button.
Go live. Hi, I have a load of books to talk to you about today because this is the start of my Halloween reading vlog. This is going to be ending on Halloween night. I am so excited for all the books that I want to read. October has just been the best time for reading spooky books. I started off a little wobbly at the start of the month, but I feel like I have regained it and have read a lot of different spooky books, trying to find books that are going to scare me, just trying to have a good time. So this is the final week of October, my final week to read all these spooky books within spooky season. I'm still going to read horror books outside of October, and I feel like November can kind of be honorary spooky season as well. But for the remainder of this month, these are the books that I want to try and get to. First up, we have a graphic novel. This is The Oja Woja. This is by Magdalene Visaggio and Jen St. Onge. This is a horror mystery graphic novel, and it has so much fun. I actually keep forgetting that I have this one to read because it's on a shelf that isn't as visible to me when I'm picking out my TBR, so I'm glad that I remembered this for this video because I feel like it's the perfect fun type of seasonal read. It says at the top it's a story about the transformative power of friendship and an immortal demon trying to take over the world, but mostly the friendship thing. Welcome to Bolingbroke, a small town just like any other, or so 8th graders Val and Lainey think. They're the best of best friends and are always there for each other, which is important when you're queer like Lainey, or on the spectrum like Val, and don't seem to fit in anywhere else in middle school. When a class project about Bolingbroke's supernatural history leads to a for real ghost sighting, Val and Lainey decide to take things to the next level and accidentally summon the Oja Woja, a demonic presence connected to a series of mysterious tragedies throughout the town's sordid history. Now all heck has broken loose, with the whole town acting weird and nowhere left to turn. It's going to be up to Val, Lainey and their small group of friends to return things to normal, if normal is even something they want to return to. So this is book 1 on the TBR. I've also already started today Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. This is the same author of The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and it's very chunky. I am 28 pages in. I've decided that this is a book I am definitely going to need to break the spine of. Depending on the book I'm reading, depends on like the kind of condition it remains in, but I feel like this one, yeah, it's going to be a spine breaker. This sounds like a really good read. Christopher Reese has been through a lot by the age of 7. He will go through much more before he turns 8. All his mother Kate Reese ever wants to do is protect him. She will have to do more than she ever imagined. Their new home in the town of Millgrove, Pennsylvania is sleepy, ordinary and isolated. In other words, perfect for what is about to happen. Something that will deeply mark everyone, from Christopher and his mother to the local sheriff, the residents of the retirement home and every student at the school. Something which no one can explain, but everyone can feel. Something that will change everything. I think it sounds really good and it sounds really creepy and atmospheric. It's just huge. But sprints all day today. I'm going to try and read both of these today. Well, not the whole of this, definitely the whole of this. Some of this, I feel like it's a good start. I would also love to try and get to All Hallows by Christopher Golden. This is set on Halloween night, which just makes me even more excited to read it. I feel like this one I want to save till the latter part of the vlog to try and actually also read on Halloween night. It's Halloween night 1984 in Coventry, Massachusetts, and two families are unraveling. The Barbosas have opened their annual Haunted Woods attraction in the forest behind the house they're about to lose. The Sweeneys are fighting about alcoholism and infidelity on their front lawn. Up the street, high school senior is about to have her secrets exposed, while down the street, the truth about Ruth and Zach Burgess turns out to be even more horrifying than the rumours ever were. I'm really enjoying the names they've picked for these characters. And all the while, 4 children who do not belong are walking door to door, children in vintage costumes, with faded eerie makeup, children who seem terrified and who beg their neighbourhood kids to hide them away, to keep them safe from the cunning man. But with families falling apart and the community splintered by bitterness, who will save the children of Parmenter Road? I just think it sounds so good, so this is one that I really want to read over Halloween. I've also got Out There Screaming, which is a collection of stories. It's an anthology of new black horror edited by Jordan Peele, who is a fantastic filmmaker. I bought this in my last October vlog, and I really wanted to try and get to some of the stories in that vlog, but I just did not have the time, so I'm hoping to get to 1 or 2 of them in this vlog. Now, as usual, I tend to set myself too ambitious of a TBR for a vlog like this, so I'm not saying I'm going to necessarily get to all of these books, but these are the ones that I want to pick from. Also, I went into Waterstones this morning because I specifically wanted to pick up this book. This is definitely not a horror and isn't even close to that genre. This is a non-fiction called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I have heard some very interesting things about this, and I am trying to set myself some new habits and new routines that positively benefit my life and just help me thrive. And I have seen this is really good. Definitely not the kind of thing I would normally pick up, but apparently it's very easy to apply to life, so I picked this up as well. Definitely not going to be reading this in the vlog, but I picked it up and I thought it sounded interesting, so I just wanted to haul it. Other than filming Fictionary today, I pretty much have the whole day to sit and read, which I'm really excited about, so it should be a good start to the readathon. Hello, Bones and I have a reading update. Bones is the dog on my head. I put him on during sprints and he has remained. Anyway, I finished the Oja Woja. This was a really lovely and wholesome graphic novel at the same time as having a really big perilous threat in the middle and end of it. I really liked it. It was a story all about friendship, the power of friendship, the unity of friendship and what that can achieve. It also had loads of rep throughout it, including what I think was scoliosis rep. It wasn't said it was scoliosis rep, but there was a lot of the things that kind of nodded towards it, and I myself have scoliosis, so it was really great to see potential scoliosis rep in this book. Generally, I had a good time reading this. It was a pretty fun horror graphic novel, and I think a pretty good way to kick off the readathon. I'm now going to keep going with Imaginary Friend, which just, oh, the size is so daunting, but I've been really wanting to read it ever since I got it, and it's definitely very atmospheric. I'm liking the relationship we have between the mum and the son in this, and I'm intrigued to see where everything's going. We're building things up slowly. There's the slight involvement of something else that's kind of this unknown happening, so I'm liking it all so far. I think for it to be this big, it's going to definitely have to really grab my attention quite quickly to keep me hooked throughout the whole book, so I'm hoping it does that. I mean, it's had very good reviews, so I think it should. Kind of tempted to get a takeaway tonight. Not really sure if that'll happen or not, but I'm tempted. The temptation is there. This dog is slowly falling off my head. It's a nice little hat. Anyway, those are my reading updates. Still on sprints. It is the evening now, actually. It's nearly 6. It's 20 to 6. I definitely thought I would have read a little bit more today, but I did film Fictionary. I have got some other bits done that I needed to, so I feel like I've had a productive day. I just haven't necessarily read as much as I thought I would have. It is after work on Thursday, and my plans for the evening are to sit down and read this book. I am on Patreon sprints again today. I don't think I've verbally in this vlog spoken about this readathon yet, but this is a 7-day Halloween themed readathon with my Patreons. It is running for 7 days. It started yesterday and it ends on Halloween. I am live for 6 of those 7 days doing sprints. I'm just not live on Sunday. So we got lots of sprints, lots of books. It's just a lovely community of people. I do try and do readathons as often often as I can, and they are available to all tiers of my Patreon, and I also do weekly live shows. So if you would like to join, there is a link down below. I've had so many new people sign up over the last few days, and I'm just a little bit overwhelmed because every single person that signs up just helps me get one step closer to being able to achieve the dream life that I'm really working towards, and it just means so much to me. So thank you so much. That is all linked down below, and as I said, I try and do the readathons as often as I can, and then there's the weekly live shows for the Hobbiton tier upwards as well. Anyway, this book, I am enjoying it. I have had a couple of interesting moments. There has been some stuff happening with the little boy, and I'm intrigued. I said that it needed to grab me quick because it was so chunky that I didn't want to feel like it was too slow, and it definitely isn't. The pacing is good, the intrigue is there, and I'm very much looking forward to spending the rest of the night reading it. I feel like this week has really hit me, and you can probably tell just from looking at me. It's been a lot. The last few weeks, do you know what? Since I got back from my trip to Vietnam and South Korea, I just feel like I've really struggled to get back on my feet. And I felt like I was a few weeks ago, and then I just... no. Anyway, all that to say, it is Friday. I am done with work for the week. Yay. It is just about reading and watching horror films and going to a Halloween party. I'm so excited for my weekend. I'm on Patreon sprints at the moment. Ta-da. And then tomorrow I am also on a live show until the late afternoon, early evening, at which point I will be going back to my family home where we're all going to a Halloween party, which I'm really excited about. And then on Sunday I'm coming back here again. My friend's coming over and we're watching horror films all day and getting a Chinese takeaway, and I'm so excited about it. So I'm really looking forward to my weekend, but I just wanted to give you a quick reading update because I've actually made quite a significant chunk of progress in Imaginary Friend. The concept of the fear in this is psychological, but also does enter into a realm of physical slightly as well, and I'm really interested to see how the psychological side of things is explored. The blurb is very suggestive and isn't exactly telling you what's happening, so I'm going to be the same. But what I will say for this is I adore the relationship between our main character and his mum. I really love seeing that relationship grow and seeing both their perspectives on that and how they both kind of care for each other and look after each other and have that solidarity together. I really like that. I also really like seeing the way that our main character is developing. Not necessarily all positive things, but I'm really enjoying seeing that side of things. And then getting little glimpses of other characters' stories throughout. We sometimes just visit a random other character for a chapter, and I really like that because I feel like it's really fleshing out the overall story. This is a small town that this is set in, and I think by getting those perspectives, you really feel like you, the reader, are part of this small town. There is something larger at play here. There's something ominous going on, and I'm very intrigued to see how that is going to play out. We have started to get more and more and more information fed to us, and I have a lot of questions in a good way, in a way that is keeping me turning the pages. I'm getting a very good feeling about this book, like possible 5-star territory. I'm whizzing through it. The chapters are fairly short, it's very addictive, and I keep thinking about it when I'm not reading it, which I think is a sign of a great book. If when you're not even actually reading it, your brain is still kind of in that world. So really liking this. I have said that I want to try and get to a couple of the short stories in Out There Screaming. I've taken off the dust jacket because I have started one of the short stories. The one I started is called Reckless Eyeballing by N.K. Jemisin. When I say I've started it, I've literally read 3 pages, so I've barely started it. When you read short story collections, do you pick the one that you fancy the most, or do you go in order of the short stories in the contents page? Because I go in order, because I've obviously been edited in that order for a specific reason. Would be interested to know how you pick. I'll let you know my thoughts when I finish that first short story and maybe if I've read any others. But at the moment, this is my reading update. I have an evening of reading ahead of me and tomorrow, and then lots of horror films to watch on Sunday. If you want to know what horror films we're going to be watching at the weekend, on the TBW, we have got Nope, which is Jordan Peele's latest that I haven't watched yet, and I'm really looking forward to that. The Witch and The Conjuring. None of us have seen either 3 of those films, so I'm really looking forward to it. I can't believe I haven't watched The Conjuring, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. Good morning. I have serious reading plans today. They include finishing this book, which I have that much left of, reading at least one short story of this book, and then maybe starting this book. It might all be highly ambitious, but it is just about to turn 9:30 and I'm just about to go on to the live show for today for the readathon. I'm going to be live until about 4/5ish, and then I leave to go to this Halloween party. So that's the goal. I literally don't have anything else to do apart from read and make a rum bottle. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to this party as a pirate, and I thought it would be fun to put the alcohol I'm bringing with me in this empty, well, nearly empty gin bottle and turn it into a rum bottle. Because, you know, pirate. So I have to get the label off, make a new label, and then get the new label on. I don't really know what I'm doing with it yet, but that is the only thing really, other than reading, that I have to do today, and getting ready for the party, but that's way later. So that's the plan. I will do a little pirate get ready with me later as well. I don't really know what I'm doing hair and makeup wise yet, but it should be fun. Hopefully I can do all that reading today. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a really good readathon so far, and I have read a lot. Like, that book is chunky, and I'm near the end of it on day 4, so I feel like I'm doing quite well. On sprints last night we were playing some Sporkle. This is the last one that we did, and it was so funny. It just really made me laugh. So we're gonna, I think, do a couple more games of this today. There's so many quizzes on here. It's a good time. I got my pirate outfit on. I actually filmed a vlog update whilst I was getting ready. I was doing a get ready with me, and I filmed it in slow-mo by accident, so that's fun. But I am a pirate, kind of. I've got my cutlass. I've got a little Pirates of the Caribbean necklace on. I have wait, that way around. I have a very booby shirt on. It's a bit precarious here. And the bottle of rum. This is how it turned out. I'm really pleased with it. It looks cool. This is actually a bottle of gin, but can you see the Kraken? I love it. So this is the look. I'm excited! I was giving you reading updates because I finished Imaginary Friend. I said great stuff about it and it's all in slow-mo, so I'll tell you about that now quickly. You get this update from a pirate now. Oh, it's so booby. I'm just gonna stand like this because this is a bit too booby. But Imaginary Friend, right, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think it lost me a little bit at the end because it was so intricate and there was so much happening and so many twists and turns that I got a little bit confused. I didn't really know who we were meant to be trusting, and I think at that point that is something I should have known. And there was a lot of different directions that it was going in. It was really good though. I loved that this was a story that was, whilst being about lots of other things, it was also about the love between a mum and her son. I really liked that. I thought it was very interestingly done. It was very tense and very dramatic at the end. The build up, the last 200 pages were just so intense and so good. I can't believe how quickly I read this book. I literally started it on Wednesday, I think. So generally brilliant. Loved it. I have decided to get the audiobook for Out There Screaming, and I have listened to 3 of the short stories already. I keep forgetting that they're short stories, and I keep thinking that they're setting up for a bigger, longer story, and then it ends and I'm like, oh, right, yeah, okay. The second one was my favourite so far, which I've forgotten the name of. Hang on. I can use the book to cover my boobiness now. Okay, the second one was Eye and Tooth. That one so far has been my favourite, but I'm really enjoying them. I'm currently on Invasion of the Baby Snatchers, I think. I'm going to listen to more of that on the way to the party because I've got to drive there, and then I'm staying overnight at my mum's, and then we'll be driving back tomorrow, so I will listen to them more then. I'm just going to continue to hold the book here. But anyway, that's a quick update. I'm going to be starting physically, hang on. So I've also got All Hallows that I have read 3 pages of. This is going to be my physical read. I obviously haven't really formed any opinions after 3 pages. I don't know why I bothered to start it when I knew I was only going to be able to read 3 pages, but this is what I'm bringing back with me. Not that I'm reading at the party, but if I read at all until I come back tomorrow, this will be what I read. I'm really looking forward to going to this party, so I'm gonna do that now, and I will catch up with you maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, I don't know. Tomorrow's just dedicated to watching horror films, so it's such a good weekend. Good morning. I think it's still morning. Yes, I have 20 minutes left of morning. It counts. Hi, it's Monday. I haven't spoken to you since Saturday when I was dressed as a pirate to go to that party. I had such a good time at that party. It was so much fun. However, this weekend I have had a little bit of an IBS flare-up, which has not been so pleasant. So I've been feeling really funny on and off. It really comes and goes in waves, and I'm really trying to utilize the times when it's gone to be able to just feel like slightly normal, but it's really up and down. I keep thinking it's done and then it like isn't done. So just for transparency, that's how I'm at right now. So I'm not really feeling 100% today. So I'm just taking a little bit of time to look out for my body and what I am doing to kind of give myself a little bit of a break. So I've got myself up and a little bit ready today because I think what I need to do is just go for a really slow, calming walk. That is literally the only thing I'm going to do today other than reading on sprints later for day 6 of this readathon. So I'm going to go for a walk. There's this really beautiful church and graveyard area near where I live, and I love walking around there at this time of year because it just feels like it's the perfect place to go in October. And it's a really nice sunny day out. I don't really know if it's cold outside or not, but I'll wear a coat, I'll bundle up. So I want to walk down to there. I think it's going to be quite muddy, so I'm just going to do like a little triangular route, go via town, walk through to the church graveyard area and then walk back home. And I think that should be about an hour to an hour and a half of a walk, and I just think I need that to just calm my body a bit by being in some fresh air and just give myself a little bit of slow pace exercise. So that is the plan, and then I'm just going to come back and do some reading later. I really haven't read much more of All Hallows. They are currently setting up this haunted house environment or haunted woods environment, and I'm really enjoying hearing about that because I really want to go in it. So I'm really glad that I saved that one to read at this time of the week or of the month, nearer to Halloween. So I've got those kind of Halloween-y vibes surrounding me. I have been reading a couple more of the short stories for Out There Screaming. The second one that I said to you about before is still my favourite. I think that Jordan Peele has done a really great job of collating some excellent short stories here that all feel really unsettling and uncanny, and I think when watching Jordan Peele's films, that is definitely the vibe from those films as well. So I feel like they perfectly reflect that style where you just feel uncomfortable reading them, and I think that is one of the things that horror is so good at, is just the emotion that it brings out in its readers. I did spend yesterday watching some horror films. We watched Nope by Jordan Peele, which I thought was really interesting. Really enjoyed that. We watched The Witch, which was not great. I didn't love that one. We felt like it was kind of lacking a little bit, and there were quite a few little errors in it as well, which felt quite disjointing. It was strange editing choices made in that. I felt like I always love watching films with editing in mind. I just love looking at the editing, and I thought that that one definitely I had a couple of like interesting things that I was noticing. And then we watched The Conjuring, which was definitely the creepiest of them all, I would say, or like the jumpiest probably would be the right way to say it of them all. So yeah, we watched some good ones, and then we watched one of the American Horror Stories, which are the short stories from American Horror Story world. So that was really fun. I had a good time. I had a good weekend. I just wish that this IBS flare-up would bugger off, because normally it hits me like maybe 1 to 2 nights, whereas this has been Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday and I've not been feeling great from it. Just, yeah, I think it's on the way out, I think. Anyway, I got a book actually as well. It's in the other room. Hang on, I'll go get it. 2 different people recommended this to me on the back of my last video where I was searching for a book that gave me the fear. It's called Pen Pal, and it's by Dathan Auerbach, I think. There's the cover. Kind of creepy vibes on the cover, I suppose. But the blurb, I'm intrigued by it. I have questions from the blurb, which I think is a good thing, because it means that I want to read the book to find out those answers. In an attempt to make sense of his own mysterious and unsettling childhood memories, a man begins to reconstruct his past. As the games and adventures of his youth become engulfed by a larger story, he finds that it forms a tapestry of unbelievable horror that he never could have expected. Each chapter completes a different piece of the puzzle for both you and the narrator, and by the end of it all, you will wish that you could forget what he never knew. I don't even know what it's about really from that, but it sounds like it's going to be a creepy and interesting time. So I bought this one as well. If I wasn't already reading All Hallows, I think I would pick this up, and I don't really think there's much of a chance of me finishing All Hallows today. So I don't think that this is going to be fit into my October reading, but it definitely will be something I get to soon. I've just noticed it kind of matches my jumper as well. Anyway, I'm going to go off on this walk now. So I've come on this beautiful walk route, and I normally come from that way and go that way, but instead I came from that way and I'm going that way, and oh my god, the mud. I've got my walking boots on and I'm glad I do, because I didn't anticipate it to be quite that bad. I am not what you would call superstitious. I'm probably very skeptical. However, I just had a little bit of a strange moment in the graveyard there. I was sat on the bench for a couple of minutes, just quietly sat there, and I suddenly had a really sharp stabbing pain in my stomach. And yes, I have been saying I've been in the middle of an IBS flare-up, but this felt a little bit different to that. IBS is quite a specific type of pain, and this did not feel like that. I'm gonna say it probably was linked to the IBS because my stomach is all over the place at the moment, but it definitely felt a little bit different. And the IBS is usually quite predictable, and this was not. Discounting that, I was then on my way out and my GoPro decided to act all funny. It gave me a weird error message saying it couldn't capture the footage that I was in the middle of filming. I clicked OK on it and then continued recording. It was absolutely fine. And then a couple of minutes later, the GoPro itself just powered off, and it just said powering off on the screen. No error message linked to it. Didn't seem like it was linked to the previous moment, but it just said powering off. And it just shut down. So I don't know if I went through like an electrical wave or something, but a little bit strange. A little bit strange. I felt so gross today, so I have showered and got ready for bed very early. It's just about to turn 5, I think. So I got my pajamas on, I got my dressing gown, I'm ready to just chill. I'm on Patreon sprints at the moment, so I'm just gonna sit right there and read All Hallows for the rest of the day and pretty much just not do anything else. I'm having a very early night tonight. I am absolutely knackered, but I have made some really good progress on reading All Hallows. I've got up to page 157, which is about halfway. I've been reading all night on sprints with my Patreons, and I'm really liking this. This is all set during the day of Halloween and Halloween night, and we're following multiple different characters throughout the plot. We are meeting different families with different dramas surrounding them, so there's quite a lot happening, so it keeps you on your toes, and it flits. Different chapters follow different characters, so it flits between different characters, and there might be different characters within the one family or within different families. I'm not gonna lie, I would like a guide as to who is who, because it just gives you their name and at the start of each chapter, and you kind of have to refresh yourself as to who it is that's involved in which different plot point. And at the moment I am still getting a little bit confused with the who's who and whose situation is whose situation. But that being said, I'm really enjoying this. The pacing is keeping me on my toes. There's an overriding creepy thing that's been introduced that I'm intrigued to see how it plays out. There's something to do with the cunning man, which I believe is mentioned on the blurb. Yeah, the cunning man, who at the moment I know very little about. We've been introduced to the idea of him just by name, but I don't know anything more than that. And there's kind of the whispers of what's going to be happening with that, and I'm quite intrigued to see where that goes. I'm sprinting tomorrow with my patrons all day for the last day of the readathon, so it'll be our 7th day and 6th day live. I've had so much fun on all these sprints. Like, I've read so much because I've been on all these sprints with my patrons. We worked out so far I've been live for a total of 35 hours since last Wednesday, and it's currently Monday, so there's been a lot of live shows, and I think by the end of it we'll be live for probably about 40 hours. I think it'll have been something like that. It might be a little bit less than that, but it's basically been a full working week of the equivalent of live shows, and I've had so much fun. I've read so much. I love this community a lot. If you would ever like to take part in anything like this, by the way, it is always linked down below. The readathons are available to all tiers, so basically what I've been doing for the last 7 days tomorrow, that is available to all tiers, so from £1 upwards, and then the weekly sprints that I do is available to the Hobbiton tier upwards. There's lots of other perks as well, but it's all linked down below. You can find out about all the other perks, but there's like a book club, a Discord, digital downloads, Lightroom filters, a discount to my shop, all sorts of things. Anyway, I have digressed. I don't know what I was saying, There's a live show tomorrow. I'm going to try and read as much as possible. I have to be gone by 3, but I think I'll probably start it quite early because I'd imagine if I go to bed early, I'll probably wake up early. So as much of this, if not all of this, as possible to be read by tomorrow, well, by the end of the day tomorrow, is the goal. I think I can do it. I am 100% going to bed now though, because I'm so sleepy. Please can we all appreciate my atmospheric lighting, my devil horns, and my little pitchfork earrings. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween. I am ready for a spooky afternoon and evening of reading. I have been on sprint since this morning with my patrons, and I have got about 100 and something or other pages left of All Hallows. I am enjoying this book so much. It is the perfect blend of a Halloween seasonal read and just spookiness and drama and intrigue. I am so interested to learn more about the Cunning Man. I want to know more about that whole storyline as well as the individual things that are going on. The fact that we can see the Cunning Man on the cover, I thought would remove some of the intrigue for me because they're literally right there, but actually that is such a prominent image that it is just ingrained in my brain and just it completely adds to that creepy build-up. So I'm really enjoying this. I am still on my Patreon reading sprints, but I'm about to change location and head back to my family home. I'm going to be there for the evening helping my mum out with a couple of bits, including trick-or-treaters, which I'm so excited about. Because I live in a top floor flat, I don't really get to get involved in anything like that, so I'm looking forward to helping my mum out. We put lights up and music and it's a great fun time, so I'm going to go do that for the rest of the evening. But I love this time of year so much, just for many reasons, but also for content. I just find it so much fun to make content at this time of year and to be live with my patrons, especially over this readathon weekend. I have had so much fun on this whole readathon event. I was meant to end sprints now when I go back to my family home, but actually I'm just gonna have a break for the drive back there and then continue sprints. So I'm really looking forward to an evening of reading, probably a horror film, and just generally spooky season vibes. This is Ava's Halloween outfit. Dressed as an emo, rocking it, Avril Lavigne vibes. We love it. Very good. Winged eyeliner. Work it. Work it.
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you.
We're going to pretend it's still Halloween because it's definitely not a few days later. It's definitely not November. And I definitely didn't just only finish this book last night. That is definitely not what happened. It's totally what happened. I don't have my cool background light on. Hang on. That's better. I had a case of the wobbly anxieties in the middle of this week, and my brain was just like, nope, we're not going to spend time doing the things we enjoy to do. So I only got to finishing this last night, but I really enjoyed it. It's very dark, definitely very dark. There's so much going on. It's so action-packed. For the fact that it all takes place over one day and night, it's just great. It completely keeps you gripped. It never really slows down. You're always interested. I really enjoyed it. The horror element, it did build, it did get creepier, but I think that it didn't scare me because of a couple of reasons that I feel like would be spoilery to go into. So I'll leave that up to you to read. I think basically, what can I say? The horror element was more humanized than I would have liked, and I think that removed the fear from it slightly. I think that's okay to say. But I really liked it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know what it would have taken to make it a 5-star read for me, but I did really enjoy it. I had a really good time with it. I think it was the perfect book to end this vlog on. I have listened to a little bit more about their screaming. However, I'm currently listening to an audiobook for something that I'm doing next week, and I really need to have 2 audiobooks listened to for that. So I needed to just temporarily hit pause on this, but I have been really enjoying the stories in this. I'll probably talk more about them in whatever relevant wrap-up that I finish this book in. But for now, I will end this vlog. Thank you for coming along on a little Halloweeny week with me. It was a really fun week. I really enjoyed vlogging it. I have no idea what day of the week it is at the moment though, because it just threw me having Halloween off of work and then the Wednesday after. I don't work Wednesdays anyway, and it just means I just don't know what day it is anymore. It's fine. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. A massive thank you to my patrons for making every video possible, and also a massive thank you to my Patreons because they have all come along on this reading week with me with our readathon that we've been doing. It's been so much fun. It feels weird to not be live every day now. I really got into the habit of doing that, so it was a great time. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.